Hello, it's Deb from Project Life, Deb's Way. I have a great Project Life layout process video for you. It's on a travel layout and it's in 2 parts. So let's get on with the process video. This is my Project Life and I'm just describing how I do my Project Life without using a kit. I always try to use 3x4 photo mats, and I also decide, depending on what I'm doing, whether I'm going to have a border and then put my coloured papers in. I also decide on my papers, which I tend to use half sheets, and I have about 6 different colours where I have some plains and some busies. Now if you're bordering, you tend to cut your border mats, and then I've got some black cardstock for my mats. Now I always cut my pattern paper into 4x6 because it just makes it easier, and I also put, if I have one sheet of the blue spot in one side and one on the other side, and use the other 4x6, I actually use that for my layering and etc. So without undue, I'm going to start my process for you. Once I have cut all my mats and etc., I tend to lay out my set out, and I put my photo mats onto my sheets of paper. Now for my set, I want 2 photographs here. Well, as you can see, the photo mats are a bit big, so I'm going to change those to 3, cut them to 3 3¼ probably about 2¼ by 3¼ which will give me a nice little mat which will fit inside my 2 pieces like so. In one of mine I want a larger photograph, so I am going to do a 4 and a 3½, which will go fit nicely in there, remembering that you're going to have a piece of paper there. And then I need another photo mat because I didn't quite cut. This is why you leave your blank pieces of paper in here. So that's where my photographs will fit. This one needs to be trimmed down slightly so that it will actually fit. So I will do a 3½. I will take off 1/2 inch and another 1/2 inch, so that actually fits in like that. So that will actually give you your photo mats. Then what I do is I make a decision, and I've cut the extra 1/4 inch off of all of my sheets, so consequently they will fit. And then I do a lovely little shuffle and sort of work out where I want my sheets to go. Which is a nice part of play. Well, I'll come back as soon as I've sorted, and I will give you a Photoshop of where I'm up to. Now I've sort of laid out my coloured papers. I know a few of these are the same, but they're going to have overlays. So I think to start off with, I don't waste anything. And as you can see here, we just need to take that extra, because I've got the mats underneath. You always need to take off that 1/4 inch to make it fit just nice. And then I've decided I'm going to do a little bit of blue on here. So what I tend to do is I lay all of my bits down. So that way you don't waste any of your papers. And when you're putting your other mats on top of other mats, you can take off 1/2 inch, and that will give you the correct amount, so you can actually double mat things, so you just get a nice border around your piece. So you just sort of fiddle with your cutting, and you put strips in to give you your follow through of papers that come through. As I said, you don't tend to waste anything, so just have a quick sort of play where you feel that you want certain other objects. Okay, now sometimes you do have sheets left over, but just keep them spare because you may want to do things. Now I have previously, for the speed of this video, decided on certain elements. I've gone through, I've decided on my ink pad for my bordering, which with my scrubber. I've decided on this one to use a lot of tags, and I've got some arrows, and I've got some wood chipboard, which I'm going to do black. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to ink all my edges. I always like edged ink edged, because I think it just looks that little bit nicer. And then I'll show you, we're going to put some the nice part, all the elements on. At this stage too, if you have photographs, I would actually put your photographs onto your mats, but for privacy reasons, of course, I won't be putting my photographs on my mats. I also like on my layouts, I always do 2 pages with no photos on, which is this one and this one. Actually, this one I've got 3. This one, and this one will be just what I call eye candy, which just completes your project life. Now, because I'm using a lot of tags, I don't buy shipping tags. The cheapest way of doing that is to get your old manila folders, cut your card down to whatever size you want, which of course mine is, I'm doing mine, just eyeball that. Just cut your square. Then I have a little template that I've got made up, which of course then you can just quickly cut your corners. Shipping tags are so expensive, and I always find this a very good way. Then you can have a hole punch. I've got a crocodile punch, but you can actually have your hole punch there. Just cut your hole, and there is your tag. Done. Now I have a punch that makes these little holes, but you can actually buy from the stationery shop packets of these little rings, reinforcers. And there we go. You end up with a nice shipping tag, and that way you can have whatever. But the best way is to go to your local supermarket where you can get your manila folders. Now once you've got your shipping tags actually cut and set up, I tend to edge mine with the blue edging. I decided that I wanted to back this one, so all I need to do there is get my piece of cardstock I want to back up to. And then what I do is I get my scissors and just cut. So once again, you've got a nice little edge around your tag. Now the reason why is this tag I've decided as part of my eye candy, and this comes up here, I just wanted make sure that you've got your edging there, so you've got little edges everywhere like this, and as you can tell it will just give you a little bit of a pop. So just edge that so you've got no little white edges. Now we'll go ahead and we'll edge all of these tags. Now you can do these tags, you can use craft, you can use white, but once you make your own tags, there's no looking back. And it saves you a lot of money because, as I said, they are very expensive to buy. Now I've finished edging all my tags. At this stage I would actually go down and put all of my foundation pieces down, but I won't stick my photo mats down. So I will go ahead and I won't bore you. I will come back as soon as I've done that. Now that we've done all our foundations, now as you can tell they look much better, all the photo mats aren't stuck down, I actually go and start putting where I think things will look good. I definitely want the tag which I showed you how to mat that one, and then I want one there. I want the larger one. Now I have cut this slightly down just to give a different bit of a look because I want that underneath. I also want a tag underneath there. I think I might have a tag just to fill up this little area here, and I think I might have one here. I found a sheet of paper here with just from the kit that came in, which will look very nice with your luggage. I've also got a few other bits and bobs. I've got some I think we'll have saying now if you have a square one there, you must have one on this side to actually balance, and of course that fits really nice there. I want this one over here. We have got a suitcase which we can use. I think throw that down here. I think that will look nice there. I think on that tag we'll just put one of those. I've got a couple of tickets which I think might look nice and sort of fill that area in here. Now I also have some of these wooden chip bits which always goes nice, and I think for here we'll have this. And I know I've got some suitcases here to put there. The aeroplane will look absolutely amazing there, and I always like a title on my page, and that is here. So we're sort of journey memories. We have got a camera here which I think will fit nice over that. Now one of those will go here. Will look good there. That will come over here. Now I want this nice little folder here. I'm going to, now I've got ink all over my fingers, put the tag inside there with something like that on there. Now we also need some words, so I think remember this. I've got a few words here that we can sort of pop into places, which I think is a nice way to go. See, that needs a bit more oomph. So once you sort of juggle, and then I want some strings and things to tie up things with. I think we'll put some string on here. The tiny little tags, you can put some other different strings because you don't want it too thick. I try and always keep my stuff very, very not too thick, because otherwise when you close your book you'll end up with problems with closing up your book. So I'll just put some string to tie in everything here and just finish off, and then eventually I'll put some more little arrows and things, and this one comes here with some string there. Now what I'm going to do, I'll go and tie the strings onto my labels, and I will actually attach all of my things here, but this is the basic of what you do. And of course, if you've got your photographs there, your photographs, but if you haven't, you actually put your tape underneath so you can slide your photographs underneath your bits and bobs. But that is how I tend to do my Projectlife, and I will come back once I've finished sticking everything down.